Darkritician!
Hey YouTube, Darkritician84 here, and welcome to another top 10 video. And this is one I thought about doing for a while but never got round to it. And there were a couple of picks that I was originally going to do, but they're not really valid anymore. Anyway, I am counting down the top 10 annoying mistakes players make with cards. Now, mistakes obviously can't be helped. I mean, we're only human, we all make mistakes, no one's perfect. But unfortunately, there are people who make certain annoying mistakes with cards and keep making them over and over again. Or if not, then the mistake itself just keeps popping up. And that is really, really annoying. And with the list I've chosen here, I think, well, we've all made these mistakes, but at the same time, we would all get annoyed with these ones in particular. I mean, it's fine and fair enough if it's like either a new player making these or someone who hasn't played for a while making these mistakes, but you know, after a while, like, these shouldn't even happen, and people need to read their cards and learn how their own cards work. Anyway, I'm just gonna get into the picks, starting with number 10, playing quick play spells from the hand on the opponent's turn. Now, to be fair, we've all made this mistake. Like, let's face it, you know, it's something that happens when someone's new to the game, either that or they've not played for ages. But if you've been playing this game for a while, you should know full well how quick play spells work and how they don't. Like this is basic Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty much. Like, you can't activate quick play spells from your hand on the opponent's turn. On your turn you can, but like, not on the opponent's turn. That is not how they work. Like, you have to set them and then activate them the turn afterwards, just like a trap card. Obviously experienced players know that, but you know, this is something that just everyone should know. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Number 9, link numbers being used in the wrong way. Now, there have been stories of like trying to treat a link 3 monster as a link 2 monster, or like a link 4 as a link 3, or things like that. But it's like, no, that's not how it works. If you're using a link monster as multiple materials, it can only be its link number. So if you want to make a link 4 or higher and you're using a link 3, it can only be treated as 3 materials. That's how it works. It's not up to that number, it has to be the exact number. I mean, I don't know where this ridiculous mistake came from and how it started and why people think it's up to that number. No, it has to be that specific number. Now, I know, obviously, materials listed for a link material aren't 100% clear and can be a bit confusing, but even so, this is just something very basic when it comes to link summoning, and it's something people should know by now. Well, except of course in the case of new players and someone who hasn't played for a while. Like they're excused. Number 8. People thinking effects like Decoy Dragon and Neospacian Grand Mob will work if they're face down and then flipped up during the damage step. And they're like, oh, this effect triggers, but then I'm like, no, it doesn't work. It needs to already be face up in order to do it. And then they say, oh, but it doesn't say that on the card. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't say it. The effect has to be applied while it's face up. And I know the damage step flips a monster face up, but even then it doesn't work because we've already entered the damage step and you cannot trigger the effect. Yes, a very basic mistake, I know, but yeah, it's something that's just really annoying. Number 7, Dummy Golem. Now, for those who don't know what Dummy Golem is, it's a flip effect monster that states that it switches control of it with another monster, but what not a lot of people seem to realise is that it needs to survive an attack in order for that to work. And there have been situations where, like, me or someone else has attacked into a dummy golem, it gets flipped, and then the opponent says, effect of dummy golem, and they're like, no, it doesn't work, it needs to survive the battle in order for the effect to go off. And I'm pretty sure, again, this is another situation where they say, oh, but it doesn't say that on the card. It doesn't matter. If it's about to be destroyed, it will not trigger. However, if you protect it with, like, let's say, Waboku, for instance, then the effect will trigger because it did survive. But yeah, it's not something that comes up very often, just like the whole Decoy Dragon thing, but yeah, it's just infuriating when this happens. Number 6, forgetting Vampire Kingdom's mill effect. Now, yeah, this is a mistake that I myself have done, so yeah, I'm even ranting about a mistake I made, so there is no bias here at all when it comes to this. I don't know if anyone else has done it, but there have been quite a few times where I used my vampire deck and forgot to apply the mandatory effect of Vampire Kingdom, where if the opponent sends a card from their deck to the graveyard, I have to target a card on the field, send a vampire from my deck to the graveyard, and destroy it. And this mainly happened in Royal Rumbles, and I remember one of my friends getting really annoyed about it. But yeah, over time, I kind of stopped doing that mistake, and it may have happened like once after that. And yeah, if it's any consolation, I'm annoyed with myself over this. Although, to be fair, there have been 2 Royal Rumbles where I played my vampires and didn't make a single mistake that messed up the game state. Not even the one with Vampire Kingdom, but someone else made a mistake that messed up the game state. Yeah, it's a mistake I've made that even annoyed me. In fact, I don't even play Vampire Kingdom in my vampire deck anymore, and that's one of the reasons why. The other reason being is because I needed room for the support that came out in Battle of Chaos. Um, uh, yeah, it's really infuriating that that effect is mandatory. Like, if it was optional, then this wouldn't be an issue at all. Like, why did the card designer have to make it mandatory? Just why? I don't understand. Number 5, and this is another one related to quick play spells, like people activating them in the same turn they were set. It's just something that's come up a bit too much recently, and then I have to say to them, you can't, you just set it. You have to wait a turn before you can activate it. Just like a trap card. Hell, a similar mistake even came up with traps on a few occasions, but mainly it's quick play spells. Now, if it was literally any other spell, you can activate those in the same turn that they're set, but quick plays, when it comes to quick plays, you have to wait one turn before you can activate them, if you set them. And the problem is, this mainly comes up when the opponent sets back row before they do anything else. In fact, this is why at the start of the main phase 1 you should not set any back row before you do anything else, in case you make the mistake of forgetting that you literally just set those that turn and then try to activate them later on. Like, hence why it's always better to set back row before you end your turn. Another reason why you wait until like the end of main phase 2 is in case the opponent does something that like destroys that set card, like at some point during the main phase 1 or battle phase or start of the main phase 2. I guess one example would be something like Icarus Attack, for instance. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, I'm not trying to what are the words I'm looking for? Tell you how to play your own decks, but I'm just saying that you should really wait until the end of the main phase 2 to set back row, just so you don't make this mistake. But I'm just saying. Number 4, sorry. Using a non-effect monster to make Decode Talker. Yeah, ever since Lynx came into the game, this was something that kept popping up every now and then. Even now, just why do people keep trying to use a non-effect monster as a material to go into Decode Talker? It clearly states on the card that it needs effect monsters. I mean, yes, it says 2+, and someone could try and argue and say, oh, but I can just use 2 effect monsters and 1 non-effect monster. But I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Regardless of the number of materials, it says you specifically need effect monsters to go into Decode Talker. Like, same thing with certain Goki monsters. If it says something like 2 plus Gokis, regardless of the number, you can only use Goki monsters. I mean, again, I know listed materials can be confusing, but yes, if it needs a certain kind of monster, then that is the only kind of monster you can use. In the case of Decode Talker, effect monsters. So please, for the love of God, stop trying to use a non-effect monster to make it. Number 3 is another common one that can pop up. Thinking Stardust Dragon negates anything. Now, Stardust Dragon is a very good card and still one of the best synchros in the game. It's still not perfect. I've had many occasions where people try to use it to stop an effect that doesn't destroy. Like, there's been things like Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning's Banish effect, number 11 Big Eye, and they try and go Stardust effect negates, and I'm like, you can't. It only negates an effect that destroys. Seriously, read your damn card and learn how it works. God, this is one I'm sick and tired of. Number 2, thinking once per turn effects are quick effects. Yeah, I'm sure we've all encountered that one person who keeps doing this, trying to use a once per turn effect on the opponent's turn. It could be something like Puppet Plant or Destiny Hero Doom Lord, or something like that. And then I have to say, you can't do that on my turn. You can only do that on your turn. And then again they say, oh, but it doesn't say it on the card. It doesn't matter if it doesn't say it. You still cannot do that on my turn. If you could, it would have specifically said so. Like, if it said quick effect or this or during either player's turn, then yeah, you can do that on my turn as well. But if it doesn't say any of those things, you cannot do it on my turn. God, this is something else I'm sick and tired of. But even this isn't as annoying as the number 1 pick. So in at number 1, people playing Soul Charge or Dark Summoning Beast or something else that skips your battle phase, and then trying to go to battle phase. God, this really pisses me off so much. I know Soul Charge is banned, but I swear almost everyone who played Soul Charge always tried to go to battle phase after playing it. I guess it doesn't help that they do a few other things after they've played it, which makes them forget. Same thing with Dark Summoning Beast. And then when they try and do it, I have to say to them, no, you can't. You played Soul Charge, or you used the effect of Dark Summoning Beast. You can't attack this turn. And what makes it even worse is that the same person will keep doing it over and over again, even though they've already been told multiple times. This is something that really pisses me off. Like, why is it that people either don't listen to me or they keep forgetting very simple things that I tell them? Okay, it even clearly says on the card that you cannot conduct your battle phase. So yeah, again, read your damn cards. God. And yeah, that's basically it. Those are the top 10 mistakes people make with cards. So have you ever encountered someone who made these mistakes against you? Or is there anything that I left out? I mean, if there's anything I did leave out, then feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Dark Magician YouTube channel.